This is It Rotten, the show that we talk about movies that are rated rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. And this is a very somewhat rare situation where we are covering a movie that is in a series with a movie that we have covered previously. And that is Rugrats Go Wild, which is simultaneously the third Rugrats movie and kind of the second Wild Thornberrys movie. They're barely in it, but you gotta pull focus somehow. So I'm gonna go around and ask everybody their first experiences with this movie. I'm gonna start with Mac. Mac, what was your first experience with Rugrats Go Wild?
Okay. My first experience with Rugrats Go Wild was I remember watching as a kid. I remember watching a preview of, hey, Bruce Willis is going to be Spike. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be good.
That's my first interaction too. Huh? First interaction was seeing that interview.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He looked like I was a kid and I was so happy to just watch this film. And now as an adult, when I look at that interview and I think about that interview, he looks like this is the worst decision I ever made in my entire life.
And yet we know it wasn't.
And here's the thing. No, here's the thing. This is actually still pre-giving up Bruce Willis. he is giving it 100% in this movie. He doesn't deserve it, but he's giving 100%.
He sings. He
sings. My theory is Bruce Willis never tried exactly, or has always been so incompetent that you can't tell if he's trying or not.
Guys,
that's my theory.
He tries sometimes. You ever seen The Jackal?
Have you not seen Striking Distance? He did not give a fuck in that film.
Yeah. So Zach, obviously your first experience was that the interview. Yeah. So Scott.
I remember hearing about it when it came out. I didn't really follow much of it at all. I think by that point, I had already stopped watching both shows, and so I never watched it. So the first time I ever saw it was last night, high out of my mind.
Wise choice. Wise choice.
Wise choice.
All right.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't make it better.
It probably doesn't.
But at least you're high. You're doing something. You're accomplishing a goal.
Man,
I gotta ask how being high is affected. Oh, Angelica, she took the submarine. All right. That's a plot point in this fucking movie.
I need to know how it affects her singing in your head. That's what I want to know.
Every time she's on screen, it made me want to turn it off. Such an annoying character.
This is by a wide margin, A, the worst Rugrats movie, B, the worst Angelica side plot in the Rugrats movies.
Yeah.
Plot? Yeah. I don't even call it that. It's not a plot.
But yeah, my first experience with this goes all the way back to the first commercial for Rugrats Go Wild, where it was the big reveal that Spike was finally going to get to speak because it's a crossover with the Wild Thornberrys. And it's just it's like this whole nostalgic thing of Bruce Willis narrating his time with the Rugrats. And it's like this whole wild production. Then I went to go see the movie as a kid. And this movie came out in 2003. So I was 9-10 years old at the time. And here's the thing about this movie. It came with a smell-o-vision card.
Yep.
It came with a scratch and sniff card that you were supposed to scratch and sniff at certain points in the movie. And they took time out of the runtime to be like, hey, yeah, you know what? We're going to do these specific scenes to do that. That's why they had that whole interaction with Phil making Dill smell his feet. It's because there was a little foot one that you had to scratch and sniff and smell Phil's feet. Because that's what kids wanted. They wanted fucking smell-o-vision for some goddamn reason. That was what we needed this fucking movie, not fucking plot. I hated this movie as a kid. I hated this movie as a kid. Hate it now.
All right. Damn.
and now you've subjected us to it.
Yeah. Thank you. You're doing what Zach. You've done full circle. You're now. No, you're not Zach.
No, not yet.
No. Zach and Curtis.
All right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: this movie is a piece of shit, but there is some redeeming parts about this movie. So, Mac, what is your favorite line in this movie?
The professor is writing. The professor is writing something.
Yeah, the
professor is inventing. I like that line because it reminded me of Gilligan Island. I was like,
yeah, this movie has a lot of subtle and not subtle Gilligan's Island references.
Yep. And by not all of them are not subtle. If you've ever actually seen Gilligan's Island, if you've seen Gilligan's Island, it's not subtle.
Oh yeah, no, it's not.
I like that he said it. Look, the professor is inventing. I was like, okay, all right. I got me. That was funny.
Which is funny because they also referred to Chaz as Gilligan in an earlier scene. He absolutely is.
Yeah.
Zach, what was your favorite line if you could find one?
I can't help feeling partially responsible.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hold on, who voices Stu?
I don't know, but that was like the only bit of dark humor I got from this that was beautiful. Right? Like he's just staring and being called a failure, but it's you know.
Oh, I got my.
Oh God, it's amazing. But
my
the in-laws
is going to be stupid and amazing at the same time. I'm drunk. So
I have such a good sequel pitch to this.
I'm making something stupid.
All right.
I have not figured it out yet.
All right, Scott, what do you got?
I mean, I love Phil. Phil's like my favorite character in this whole series. So when Lil says, I don't want to eat bugs anymore, and he's like, that's crazy talk, Lil. We've been raised on bugs. That's like one of the only laughs I got in this movie.
Yeah, but then the way it proceeded to play out was terrible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like because it just didn't feel real.
See, here's the thing.
I mean, it's a bunch of babies lost on a desert island.
There is a slightly subtle reason why they did this. It's so that they went through this whole arc so that people are not asking why they're not eating bugs and all grown up. That's it. That's the only reason why they did this. In my head canon, that's the reason why they did that entire arc. It's to not ask why they were.
Why can't it just be that they grew up?
Yeah.
Like why does it have to be a
or maybe they eat like candied bugs that they buy or some shit, you know? Like keep it in there, but like make it something more acceptable.
Yeah. Why couldn't this movie just have been like they go to the zoo and the Thornberrys are there visiting or something, and then the animals get loose?
So Scott, I think we lost Scott.
Why isn't that just the movie? Like there's at least a plot there.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're coming in and out. All right, there we go. All right, so to do a little bit of Is It Rotten history. So my original sequel pitch for the first Rugrats episode we did, it was a replacement of this movie, where I had pulled focus in on this movie, and it was going to focus on Phil and Lil and their parents going through a on the edge of a divorce. And they were going on this cruise as like a whole group, and it would have actually started on the Lipschitz cruise, but then half of them got stranded on the island, and half of them have to work on the boat trying to figure out what the fuck happened to the rest of them. That's a much better movie.
Okay,
that is a much better movie.
Okay, back up. Okay,
that's a better movie.
First thing I thought when I saw it was, why are they still trusting Dr. Lipschitz?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like, I mean, literally, she says in the beginning, in like the original, like they thought the twins were originally intestinal gas. They get Dill wrong. They get like, he's terrible. He's bad at all of this.
They're all bad, Zach. They're all bad.
And they met Dr. Lipschitz before the first movie, and they're like, "Yo, you're a hack," and then they're still just following his stuff by the end of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real continuity here. Like Angelica says at the beginning that Tommy will never go on adventures, and like he's been on adventures.
Literally, the last movie he was piloting a mech. He was drift compatible with Chucky in the previous movie. All right. Anyway, my best line is another Phil line. It's just the very quiet and cold. I heard that. After he said, "No, let's just give him Phil." I heard that. It's like as a kid, Chucky was always my favorite. Chucky and Tommy were always like my top two of the Rugrats characters. But the older I get, the more I really appreciate Phil as a character.
Well, that's because Phil is there to break the tension.
Yeah.
Phil and Lil were always punchlines. Let's not pretend they were anything more.
No.
So.
Yeah, and then they decide to change their characters. And all grown up, they diversified Phil and Lil to be like two actual separate characters. They made Tommy a piece of shit. They kept Chucky exactly the same.
God, all grown up, Tommy is the worst.
He is a terrible person, and I love it.
I'm trying to think of like he feels like he would fit in into Always Sunny as an adult. Yeah. That's how bad of a person he is.
Well, maybe we'll get to it in my sequel pitch. All right. So
the gang meet the Thornberrys.
So obviously, good lines also have to come around with some good scenes. And Scott, what is the best scene in this movie? If you are unfrozen.
Am I?
Yeah, you frozen. Yeah. There. All right.
Okay. Am I frozen again?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. My best scene is quick. It's easy. It's Betty saving the Binky instead of the phone.
Yeah. Oh.
Like all of them are such idiots, and that's like a great little moment.
Why does Charlotte have the same arc in every movie? Why does Charlotte have the same arc in every movie?
Because she'll never actually learn her lesson.
She does. It lasts through, I think, till the final season of All Grown Up. It's so bad. All right, Zach, what is your best scene?
The cat and dog song battle on that log. It's fucking amazing.
I told you, I'm like, tell me when you get to the song. That song is unironically a bop. It is.
Good. It makes no sense. There. Also, I just it's like that is like the only part I feel the animators wanted to make of this film. They only just wanted that scene. And honestly, if they just released a short with that would have been perfect.
Yeah. And like the thing is like in these movies, Spike usually has a big scene where he's like especially like with the first movie. This movie borrows a lot from the first movie, where he took on like all the wolves and he's just like a full-on badass like throughout the entire movie. This really like highlights that he is a cocky piece of shit, and it's unfortunate that he goes through this and literally the next time we see him it's 10 years later and he's an old dog that can barely move. It's really unfortunate, but all right.
Honestly, Spike was not as bad as I remembered. It's like 50-50. Half of his lines are horrible.
Yeah.
The other half are great. I don't know what to think.
It is a mixed bag, isn't it?
Anytime he's talking about anytime it's just Bruce Willis talking weird, random dog crap, I'm down for it. But when it's like him just, like talking about the situation, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just kept wondering to myself, like, if he was good casting for Spike. Like, I don't know if he's like, I feel like there was probably like a better option. I mean, it's Bruce Willis, so he's like kind of a lazy option anyway.
I think if they for like celebrity casting, I think they did it like well. But if like they were to like do like a voice actor sort of thing, I think I probably would have preferred like D. Bradley Baker.
Well,
Sure, yeah.
To me, it's like there's already a celebrity in the show. They just don't promote him.
Mhm.
So to me, it's weird because Flea does the voice of Donnie.
Yeah.
And that's Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's like they were on top of the world at the fucking time.
Yeah.
So like that, like you didn't even need to try.
Speaking of Donnie, yeah, for me the best thing was anything with Donnie. He just made me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Donnie's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Donnie aged the best out of everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Most things I don't understand him, his character, or anything about him. And
You're
I
not
don't want
supposed
to.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah.
It's like they had an episode that went into Donnie's backstory, and you come out of it still not really understanding Donnie any better.
No,
you don't.
No.
I used to hate that episode as a kid, and now I love it because I understand it actually preserved the character for the good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And probably my best scene, definitely it's like the Big Bad Cat song is definitely up there. I gotta say, just the whole, just the whole, the whole aspect of, Chucky having to get separated, gets dirty. So he's like, you know what? Sure, I'll take a bath. And then Donnie's just like, I'm going to steal your clothes now. Bye. Have fun. I'm just going to mess with your friends.
He's more of an ape than the actual ape on the show, though.
Yeah. Donnie's a menace. Donnie's just a straight up menace.
But that's the best part of him. Like,
yeah. And the rest of the babies are just like, they can't tell the difference between him and Chucky for some reason.
Yeah, they all go face blind for a few.
When do babies get object permanence?
Well, I think the big thing, because they do technically address this in the show, is that they actually really don't recognize Chucky without his glasses. So it's not necessarily that they're face blind, it's just they see the glasses and like, oh, that's Chucky.
I don't know. If it turned out like Stu was like feeding them mercury, it wouldn't surprise me, though.
Yeah.
like think about it. You have to think about the actual parents they have that leave them alone for this many hours of a day and probably have shit laying around that'll kill them.
Yeah.
Like,
by the way, this is absolutely the most egregious they've neglected their children. It is the single most egregious thing that they've done.
True.
It's like they even call themselves out on it. It's like, I feel like we've done this before.
You have every episode since I remember.
You've only noticed it twice, but it's happened a lot.
Yep. All right, Zach. All right. Let's get to the part.
Yeah. Let's get down to it.
Let's start all being honest.
Okay. So, mixing up the order again. Zach, what is the worst line in this movie?
Okay, this is gonna sound weird. It's during that jungle song. I just saw a butterfly turn blue. It's the line. And I'm like, you specifically wrote that just so you can make the visual. That's how little you care about your lyrics and music and even the visual gags in your film, is that you had to write in a gag that stupid.
And here's the
That's
thing.
exactly what I was going to pick.
It didn't turn blue. It started blue and turned red.
Yes, I know. I know. I considered taking a clip of the film. I'm glad that somebody else saw it other than me, Scott, because I thought I was going mad.
Dude, like I wasn't. Those were like some of the only lines that I wrote down. Like the ones the stupid lines from that song. Like I'm gonna pick one from that song too. This place is really neat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, that's such like a non-line. Like these songs are terrible.
Yeah. Most of the original songs are terrible, but like Stress Air Should Go Now is great and stuff like that. Lust for Life, the original recording is great. It's the fact that they tried to babyfy like actually good music and failed.
Yeah.
And in the first one, they tried like kids songs or like Yo Ho and a bottle of rum, and it works. It doesn't work for the clash.
Yeah. I think it did work with Angelica's song in the first movie. when
Yeah.
yeah, that,
But that's what you really got me though is a whiny bitchy song.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah. All right, Mac, what is your worst line?
Well, y'all took pretty much the ammo that I was gonna come throw out because I really hated that song.
Yeah, that song was so bad.
It was so bad.
It was so bad.
I would have to say, it goes with the saying. It follows a scene that it's basically a backup scene I hate, but the line just didn't make me feel anything. Was when it usually happens every time when Angelica shout out Cynthia when she went into that water. I was like, okay, I think.
See, I was excited because I forgot what movie I'm watching, and I'm thinking, am I watching Newgrounds? Is she gonna die finally?
No. And then Zach, at that point, I was like, well, she's finally gonna die. And then you see the scene later, like, okay, yeah, of course, you're not gonna kill us, Cynthia. So it really.
There are several points where it seems like they're gonna kill these babies, though.
Yeah, but this is a doll we're talking about. We're not talking about babies. You knew you weren't gonna kill the babies. The doll is what I was worried about. Like, it's time for Angelica.
If you know anything about the studio, it makes sense. Like, if you know anything about Class D Chupo as a company, they would totally kill them. Like, they did Duckman originally. Like, Duckman.
Zach, you knew going into this film.
Look, I can hope for death all I want.
Zach, you go hope all you want.
I hope for death on you, and on you, and on you.
Nickelodeon is not killing off their leading people at this time. They were not killing them off.
There is exactly one time where I thought death was possible in the Rugrats series, and that was when the fake out for Spike's death happened in the first movie. That is the only time that I thought it was possible.
Yeah. That was the only
no, they'll just talk about shit-encrusted diapers, but death is a little far.
but the thing about it is, the reason why I wanted Cynthia gone was the fact that it just represents Angelica has to grow up. And because in the first movie, she was hunting her down. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, cool.
But in All Dark Growing Up, we learned she literally doesn't grow up until that first episode. Mm-hmm. And even then, she's not good at it.
That what represents a step. Come on, All Grown Up was out, so we didn't know when she was going to grow up. Maybe when she lose that doll. So.
Yeah, there is a full episode where they do an appraisal on Cynthia and All Grown Up.
Where was Grandpa?
Yeah, Grandpa's fully on this movie.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It is.
No, he's in it. No, he's in it. Remember, because Tommy, but I mean, he's in it because Tommy goes in and actually he talks to Tommy. So that's more lines than Kimmy got.
Yeah.
No, Kimmy was there when she says something when Susie's like, I'm never going to see my parents again.
Yeah.
And all the other kids start crying.
Yeah. Kimmy, it's unfortunate. Also, Dill got actually no lines. Not even like the half broken language that Dill usually has. Dill had no lines in this movie.
It was a
he said stinky.
See,
he did say that Bill's feet were stinky.
Hey, true. It said inky. He didn't even finish it.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, because there is actually like a credited voice actress.
Yeah, it's Tara Strong.
It's Tara Strong. Yeah, I said it was a waste of Tara Strong.
Yeah. So
is that the only character she voices in this?
Yes.
Jesus, what a waste! I'm glad she got paid.
So my worst line. Oh, it's it's just gotta be the full dismissive tone that Marianne has whenever she's talking to Debbie on the on the radio. Debbie is just straight up saying, hey, we found some fucking babies, and then Marianne's just like, all right, whatever, see ya.
Yeah, no, it's like everyone there is equally irresponsible, and if it was a real life scenario, they'd all be dead.
But here's the thing.
Wait, didn't Stu's wrap thing float in the first thing? Well, so why doesn't he know how to make sure a boat doesn't sink? Like, he could have built the damn thing and it would probably have worked. What the fuck?
I think one slight improvement I would have made to this movie, I would have put the Reptar wagon on the boat, and then some of them would have had to have survived on the Reptar wagon.
Funny. Oh, it would have been great. They could have had a scene where they're dragging along Stu in his Reptar wagon as they're coming to an island.
Yeah.
Because he's on punishment or timeout or some bullshit.
Yeah.
That would have been good. See?
Yeah.
Why are we turning with better visual gags than I just saw a butterfly turn blue?
Yeah. And of course, the worst scenes in this movie. Let's see. It started with. I'll go back with Mac. Mac, what was the worst scene?
Yeah, I know all of us is gonna pick an Angelica song. But I have to go with Angelica and Debbie Thornberry singing. I just was like, no.
See, yeah. I actually thought that was fine for the. It was visually. It was like if I had to pick one where I was like, just shut up, just shut up. If you want me to go with my number one, like if I had to go with like the obvious song, I really just didn't like her singing, trying to cheer them up. I was like, shut the fuck up, kid. Damn it. It was the first time. I literally just didn't like the Debbie one. But if you want me to pick like what the worst song was, that was the worst thing. It's just so short, so dumb. It just was like, why are y'all singing? There's no chance of doing this. It's just stupid. That's my worst one.
All right. Zach, what was yours?
Dill licking Phil's feet, whatever the fuck that was. I never want to see it again. It was off.
I call that the Dan Schneider effect.
I call that legal.
All right. Scott.
Well, you guys both picked mine. So I'm gonna go with the giant squid scene because it was completely pointless.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. Well, if I don't care what a giant squid, a fucking 12-year-old saying this cares even less.
But like the Thornberries kind of like fail at their quest. They don't get the tape of the leopard. So like that should have been like the consolation prize, Yeah. Like this giant squid picture should have been a consolation prize. And then it just isn't. And then the movie
The leopard been chasing them the whole fucking time. That's what makes things worse.
Nobody grows as a character. Nothing happens. Nobody wins.
The one thing that I will give this is that it is a nice moment that Tommy gets to experience his personal hero acting like his personal hero, because my fucking worst scene is the fact that they decided to repeat an episode of Rugrats in this goddamn movie, an episode of Rugrats where Stu falls off the roof and thinks he's a fucking baby. And they fucking retreaded that, did it again, but this time it's Nigel fucking Thornberry.
And it was
because it was a Thornberries thing. They were trying
the
to do
original was way more effective too. The original, it actually made you feel shit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. It's
then again, I kept on thinking, how much different is it than Nigel normally? Because it's really not that much different.
They could have done the exact same plot with Nigel as himself. It was fully unnecessary, other than to just make Nigel not think like an adult, which Nigel already doesn't do.
But if they had done that like earlier in the movie, where he's able to understand the babies for like the whole movie instead of just like 15 minutes or whatever it is, like then maybe they could have done something with it. But they don't do anything.
And that would be really interesting. It'd be interesting if he could talk to babies too, because then his daughter can talk to animals, and you have that whole family line thing they're going. See, why are we writing a better movie for them?
God,
we're putting in too much effort.
Like, I feel ripped off because I'm actually doing effort.
And they would actually put extra context on why Eliza was able to easily get the ability to speak to animals, because her father has the ability to speak to babies. And also, I do, just to tread back to the positive, I like the fact that the babies don't understand Donnie and the adults don't understand Donnie, because Donnie's just Donnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's no
Like I said,
barriers.
man,
No,
say he's the
there's
villain.
nothing but barriers. No one knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Hey, can we talk about for a second Phil and Lil's dad eating all the baby food and being like, the babies don't need to eat?
Howard fucking lost his mind in this movie, and I
Okay.
completely forgot that he did
Why
that.
aren't there memes about Howard and how greedy he is in this? I want
He's a
them.
psycho.
I want a picture of eats all the baby's food in a shipwrecked island. You know, just some weird shit. Oh.
The absolute, I can't even say deterioration of Howard's character over the years, because Howard barely had a character from the start. And this is like his low point, and now he's just not in the fucking series anymore. They just fully wrote him out and just let Betty be a lesbian. He's not in the series anymore.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Which ironically, like it's like Howard. Ironically, I always was like, what is Howard's deal? I would like a Howard movie. If we made like a lot weird live action Howard movie, I'd be all over it. You know?
Right.
Fucked up.
Yeah. But yeah, it's let's get into it. So I'm gonna start with Scott. Scott, is this movie rotten?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I guess I agree with the critics. I'd put it probably around like a 35, somewhere between 35 and 39. I'm gonna go 35 just because it doesn't deserve those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just fuck this movie.
So 35%.
Yeah. All right. Zach, is Rugrats Go Wild rotten?
Yes, and it's more rotten than I thought the Wild Thornberries was already, and I don't like the Wild Thornberries very much.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty, Johnny withstanding, mind you. But like the actual show itself, barely watchable. I would say since they're actually matched at 39, and I'm like, that's way too much. They should be like at 30. I want 30.
Okay.
Unless you can give me like, below that, but I have a feeling to be pushing it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Mac, is this movie rotten?
Yes, it is. Sadly, I gotta give it a 36. It just was bad. I gotta give it a 36. It's harmless, but yeah, it's just bad. It's just like, oh, this is a bad movie. So 36.
Yeah.
So Eric, is Rugrats Go Wild?
Is it rotten? You named the actual fucking show. Is it rotten?
Is Rugrats Go Wild rotten?
I have trash talked this movie a lot. Some of it's deserved, some of it's not. But this movie is fucking rotten as hell to its core. It is a disgrace to Rugrats movies. Believe it or not, the Rugrats movies should be held to a higher standard than what this movie put out. It is so wildly unfocused. And if you really look at how many different plot threads they tried to do at the same time, there's at least nine different plot threads they tried to establish at one time. And some of them get resolved before the others. Obviously Donnie and Chucky swapping spots gets resolved earlier because Donnie just runs off because he gets bored after the confrontation with Siri. But yeah, this movie is very not good. But there's something weirdly charming about Bruce Willis's Spike. I don't know. I agree. It is better than I remembered it being. And I do gotta go with the consensus and give it like a 39.
All right.
Good question. Is the Bruce Willis thing a play on the Look Who's Talking series? Because in that he voices a baby, and then in the third one there's dogs that talk.
Yeah, but ain't Bruce Willis?
And he's not in it.
Vito.
Yeah,
he's not in the third one where the dogs talk. So maybe this time this is his chance to get to play a talking dog.
It honestly might be
in a talking baby series.
Yeah.
I'm on board with the casting now.
In the cross between the Talking Baby series and the Talking Animal series, the person who played the Talking Baby for 2 movies, then the 3rd movie there was a talking dog, but he didn't play the talking dog, gets to play talking dog in the cross between the Talking Baby series and the Talking Animal series.
It's retribution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deserved. It is the good ending. Marginally.
Yeah.
It is the good ending. It's not the perfect ending.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah. It's time for some sequel pitches.
Before that, can you explain to us why you made us do this?
Right. So obviously I made the choice. Originally my choice for this was because we had to choose between Bruce Willis movies. My original choice, I think, was Look Who's Talking. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? No, I want a different Talking Baby movie. I want to address this movie that I have built up because I have a great idea for an actual sequel to this specific movie.
All right, you go ahead and go first, unless you want me to go first.
All right, I'm gonna go first because I want to start us off on a good note, and Mac's gonna go off the rails.
Oh yeah, you're damn right.
So, I will finally give us an actual feature-length movie set in the all grown-up timeline. And as some of us do remember, that this movie actually does have an effect on Tommy Pickles' development as a character, because his big goal in All Grown Up is to be a filmmaker. And
wait, he's Dawson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Brendan from Home Movies.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Yeah, he is both those characters and all their flaws.
Except Brendan's at least charming. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Tommy.
Yeah.
So the big thing about this, it's a new generation. We got to go back to movie 1. We got to focus back up on Tommy. All Grown Up already doesn't really focus on Tommy all that much, so a movie that focusing on Tommy would really sort of reel that back in. So 10 years later, Tommy is working on his next big project, and turns out that Thornberrys are coming into town because it's been 10 years since that whole incident, and they're just coming into town, swinging by to say hi to these people that they had this life-changing situation with. Obviously Eliza, now like late teens to I forget how old Eliza is. I think either late teens, early 20s. Debbie's like mid 20s, and Nigel and Marianne are starting to go a bit gray. They're getting ready to get out of the business because Nigel can't move quite like he used to. He can't go on quite as many adventures anymore. So he comes down to, I think they live in California. I'm not sure. I think they do, based on the architecture. They come to whatever place the Rugrats live, and they reconnect with Tommy and Stu and all them, and they give Tommy and the rest of the gang an opportunity to go on one of these, a more guided expedition. And Tommy, he's like, yes, this is everything that I wanted. But as he gauges the reactions of the rest of the gang, he realizes that this is what I want, and none of you want this. So it is actually just a movie with Tommy and an aged up 10 years Thornberrys going on this adventure. And actually, no, I'll have Dill tag along as well, because Dill will go to help support his brother. But it is a full, like, almost, you know that Dora movie that came out a while ago? Kind of that ish, jungle movie ish sort of thing, but it is them. Harold jungle movie. I mean, just sort of that sort of situation, and it's just a full back to the basics. You know, deep diving into Tommy and Dill's relationship yet again. You know, better echoing the first movie. Where Dill pretty much just calls out Tommy for being a piece of shit to his friends because he is in the series now. He's just an absolute piece of shit for no reason.
I was gonna ask how Dill didn't just outshine him in everything like he does in the series, because he always does it without even trying.
Yeah, no, it's just like, and we do get the occasional back to town where everybody's just like living their life, and there's probably like some B plot of Angelica jealous that Tommy gets to quote unquote go on an exotic vacation. It's like, he's like being chased by animals, right? Angelica, she's like, so I want to go on a vacation.
Why do I picture her overweight with like street makeup and smoking a cigarette, and that now it has the gravelly voice? That's all.
But yeah, it's like, but it's basically a whole movie to make Tommy stop being a piece of shit, so that we could move on from that plot point and Tommy could stop being a piece of shit. And that
what's Donnie's deal?
Donnie has, aged up. I think Donnie's he's got to be 2 or 3 because he's the same height as Chucky. So he's either Chucky or Angelica's age, and he's finally picked up English, still voiced by Flea.
Bad work.
He's still, but he does do like the fast talking stuff, but he does it in English now instead of just gibberish. So it's probably a lot harder.
Or you can make him like super fancy.
No.
Like he's suddenly like really weirdly fancy, but then he has like his like devil moments.
I just thought of something mean.
Oh, what?
He comes around and Angelica gets infatuated with him, and then they end up going on a date, and then he starts acting like actual Donnie during the middle, just smearing all of this shit everywhere, and just.
Actually, yes. You know what? Yep. Donnie stays behind with the rest of the group. What's his face? Oh my God, I forgot the name of Angelica's friend from All Grown Up. I forgot his name.
Annoying McDouchebag?
No, the pudgy guy.
I know.
Yeah. They form like a little bromance between them, and pretty much it's Angelica and him fighting for his attention throughout the entire movie. Because once again, All Grown Up more so focuses on Angelica than it does on Tommy.
Well, Tommy doesn't have actual problems. Angelica actually has problems and emotional issues.
No. Tommy has problems. His problem is that he's an asshole. So they stopped wanting to write episodes about him.
True. No, I was more talking I think that's just how Tommy is. And I think Tommy, thinking back, a grown-up version of what he's like as a baby makes sense. Yeah. He's completely self-centered, doesn't think about anything else, and is just always looking for the next high without any regard for anyone else. That sounds exactly like the person we get.
You know what? Tommy Pickles has main character syndrome, which makes sense in the series that he was the main character for, not so much in the series where he wasn't the main character.
Yep. Main character syndrome from birth.
Literally, yeah. All right. Mac, what do you have?
Okay. So first of all, I'm gonna need somebody. I want somebody to direct my film. I want Sam Raimi to direct my film. I need to make this film a hard PG-13. Yes. So the way my film starts off is two thieves breaks into the museum. I can't remember where rugrats take place, what part of, but anyway, they're taking No, not okay, whatever. They're in America and they take
America.
America.
Just go into the Bernie Mac show. America.
taking half of so they take half of this coin. It's a coin that found in a museum, and they basically are trying to make a police getaway, but they notice that they're not going to get away. So they throw it. So that, as they're arguing, they're arguing with each other, like, "Come on back from like, this is your fault. This is your fault." So the coin gets flipped out. The half of the coin gets flipped out, and it lands into the gang's sandbox. So that's half of the coin in there. And what's going on is, next morning, Tommy and the gang are sitting there playing in the sandbox, and they found the coin, and they start fighting at it, and they start noticing that, oh, this is nice, and Angelica want to take it because it looks pretty, and you go through that whole dilemma, and Angelica's trying to take this coin the whole time, trying to trick Tommy into getting this coin, and that half of the series. Then we go with the Thornberrys. They're going on to an exotic island, and they discover their half of this. They go into this exotic place, and they go, Nigel is exploring a cave that he's not supposed to, and somehow, some way, he goes through the traps and finds a way, and Marianne's like, "How the hell did you do this?" And he did it. He gets the coin, and he has his half of the coin. Meanwhile, main plot, there is a magician who wants these two coins because he wants to make a multiverse. He wants to fuck up the multiverse.
We figured this out a while ago, man.
Is this magician named Doctor Strange?
No. His name is
Strongy?
No. His name is Dr. Strange. Love?
No, it'd be great if it was Dr. Lipschitz.
Yeah, there we go. It's Dr.
It's just Dr. Lipschitz.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's Dr. Lipschitz, and he literally wants to control the universe. So
Dr.
what I'm
Lipschitz
trying to
in the
do
multiverse
is,
of
yes,
madness.
I'm doing multiverse madness with the Rugrats, and and they're going through each dimension. So think about this for a minute. And the person who's going to be playing Dr. Lipschitz will be Tim Curry. It gotta be Tim Curry. Tim Curry is going to voice him. He's going to be voicing two roles, and in this, you're going to get a live action. You're going to get the live action Stu. And it's gonna be, I gotta have him played by Jeff Goldblum for some odd reason. And Dee will be played by Cheryl Hines for some odd reason. And I just want this whole crazy calamity to come together. It'll be something so fun that I will want to watch this. Bruce Willis actually we'll get Bruce Willis in the real world playing Spike, and he'll be literally acting as a dog the whole time, dressed up in the
Okay, are you gonna like paint his face? That's blackface, and that could be that.
No, he'll be orange.
Also, he doesn't act anymore.
No.
You're going to unretire Bruce Willis for your live action Rugrats movie.
No.
Put him in blackface.
This is hypothetical. This is not going to get made. But if I can make it like this is a direct sequel, Bruce Willis will be a dog dressed up, and he'll be like, woo, 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 woo. You can see that. I would love to see this.
No, I can't see that.
Not at all. No, you've been talking gibberish for the last 20 minutes.
And here's the thing: we can't even blame this on the alcohol. This is just how Mac pitches.
No. This is on the alcohol. Look, I'm
blame it on the goose. God's feeling loose.
The movie will be called Rugrats Multiverse, and yes,
that's lazy.
Yes,
come on, you could do better than that. Dr. Lipschitz in the Multiverse of Madness is way better.
Dr. Lipschitz in the multiverse of diapers.
Yeah, multiverse of diapers, whatever. But yes, and before you start, yes, I will have, my titular character. Sam Raimi gonna put half his people in there. Yeah, we're gonna have them in there.
Spider-Man. How many Spider-Mans are in this movie?
4.
How can we replace it with Rick from Rick and Morty instead?
No. I'm having 4 Spider-Man, including the Japanese Spider-Man in there.
Marty, we gotta pick up all these diapers, Marty.
No.
I want Bruce Willis's character.
And breathe it in, Morty. Breathe in the diapers,
Mikey,
Morty.
Look who's talking.
No, this is why I'm pissed, because I was pissed at the at Spider-Man No Way Home because I wanted the fourth Spider-Man to be the Japanese Spider-Man, Japan Spider-Man, Spider-Man from Japan. I wanted that, but we didn't get it. So in my film, we're getting it. And it's not owned by Marvel. It's Toho, so I can find a way to get it. So I'm gonna put him.
Japanese Spider-Man's just in this movie.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Got it.
I have one alteration I would like to make in your movie.
Yes.
It's not Bruce Willis as Spike. It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt in the Bruce Willis makeup as Spike.
I like that. Son of a bitch.
Dude's thinking outside the box.
Mm.
It's 4D chess.
Yeah.
And then we called Joe Biden and put him next to him and see who knows the difference.
All right. I'm gonna call it on that pitch right there. Zach, do you have anything?
I
Okay.
have more.
We know.
I know. That's why I said I'm gonna call it there.
We've
All right.
got some Deadites.
I had a weird idea with the filmmaker thing that you mentioned. What if Tommy starts going back and talking to everyone involved in this incident in a documentary style?
Oh, yeah.
It's
good.
Tommy
That'd be
coming to
rated
grips that his parents are shit.
No, I think probably the best way to do that is to pull in elements from all three movies.
Yes. Yeah, and you just are like, did mommy and daddy ever love us? No. I'm just saying that could actually be an interesting like little thing to do.
No, like fully 10 years later.
Yeah.
David Spade from the first movie, he's fully still in therapy because of the Reptar wagon.
Yeah. So much cream. So much cream. It's so pointy. So no, I can totally see that.
Yeah, no,
But
that's
that's the thing. It's like I want them to look back at their childhoods in a way we do.
Mm-hmm.
That I want to, it's like if he can't be a good character on his own, maybe if we can force audience perspective through him, we could at least salvage something.
Yeah,
At least that's my theory.
No, that's fair. That's fair. All right, Scott, end us out.
All right. I went just as lazy as they were for this movie. Like I decided to be just as lazy. Mine is, it's not a sequel to this movie. It is another shameless crossover cash grab movie. It's called Rugrats Go Woogity Woogity Woogity. And they go to a snowboarding or a skiing competition, whatever, where I guess Betty is involved and she's racing against the kids from Rocket Power. Something. Chucky learns to be brave by snowboarding. The babies go snow tubing. Dill farts, and that's the movie.
Actually, one of my original ideas for the sequel pitch was a crossover with Rocket Power, where they hire out Tommy to record them doing cool stuff.
Interesting.
But I'm like,
I didn't know about All Grown Up. I had no idea Tommy like became a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Yep.
My experience with all of him is just like kind of a crazy baby.
Do your film have Bruce Campbell literally acting as Ash Williams, literally chopping the half Deadites in a cartoon form in Callisto Clapsy's
Okay.
video?
Yeah, weirdly it does.
Okay.
As a note.
Okay.
You son of a bitch.
Now
You stole that idea.
we've gone through all of our sequel pitches, but now I'm going to throw in an extra wrinkle on this because the Rugrats movies all have one specific thing, so that they open on a parody. So I'm going to ask you what movie parody is going to open up your movies, and I'm going to start because it's going to start with Tommy doing. Tommy's going to open up doing My Dinner with Andre. And it's just his friends. They just stop because they're bored. Like instead of like something bad happening, his friends just call it because they're bored with the whole thing. And that leads into Tommy's just being a bad friend. All right, Mac, what?
Ooh, this is easy.
What movie parody are you opening with?
This is Paramount, so I can take this, snatch it off. We're going with Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible 1 to be exact, where they're literally letting down and he's doing that and he's trying to take. Reminder, This is the thieves are trying to take this coin, so they're trying to take it and do it. I want to throw in a little bit of entrapment in there, a little bit, where they're trying to wiggle through the screens on there while they're doing it for some odd reason. I think this will be fun. It'll be stupid. This film already stupid, but this is gonna be fun. I want to see this.
All right, Zach. What movie parody you got?
Reservoir Dogs, the interrogation scene, I want to be fake looking and awful because it's going to be the opening with Tommy, and then somebody turns on the light, he's in his garage.
Yes.
Recorded.
See, I was thinking that your film would have been better if it was literally Deer Hunter for some odd reason. I was thinking that.
I mean, if you want to recreate that on your own time by yourself, that's your problem.
Nah, just literally recreate the scene where Al Pacino is literally trying to No, it wasn't Al Pacino. Yeah,
all right. Scott, what extreme sports movie are you opening with?
It's not an extreme sports movie, but it starts off pretty extreme. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie.
Yeah, you fucker! Damn it!
With all the babies skydiving.
Fuck you! Damn it!
But in reality, they're just jumping off of the side of a slide. Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
You son of a bitch!
That's fucking real good. All right.
Damn it, that was my idea. I was gonna put Spider-Man in the beginning, but I had to do Mission Impossible. Hell.
All right.
Spider-Man.
Guys, this has been a great episode. But here's the unfortunate thing: it's Zach's pick.
Oh fuck!
So,
Well, what I originally wanted to do was Sallow, but that's 69%, unfortunately. Scott's like, Sallow is at 69%. Holy cow! Right? Was that your thought too?
I don't know if I could do an hour talking about that.
Oh, you could do more than an hour in therapy. My goal is to get you content like it's therapy. I traumatize you, and you share it with the audience. This is how this works. No, I was going to go with Frankenhooker.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Should I actually watch?
So
no, sorry, that's what I actually watched.
So just to be clear, we're going from Rugrats Go Wild to Frankenhooker.
Yes.
This is the content that some people watch this show for.
Yes. Yes. And Spider-Man, Japan Spider-Man.
All right. Guys, this has been a weird episode for sure.
Spider-Man.
Scott, where can people find you?
You can find me at Chewbacca Defense on Twitter, or on here and Film Talk with Mac.
Yeah, we got to get to we got to do that episode on Big Fat Liar.
Big Fat Liar.
Yeah.
We're going to do that soon.
All right, Zach, how about you?
I'm just gonna read this one line. After meeting several girls from their abusive pimp Zorro, a muscle-bound temperamental crack dealer. Yes.
Okay.
That's what you're in for. I said a single line. That's a single line.
Oh, I thought you were like quoting Newt Gingrich or something.
Possible. Very possible. Newt Gingrich probably had nothing to do with the film, though.
Only probably. But yeah, Zach, where can people find you?
They can find me at Baptist Spring Labs on YouTube and Madzo BBL on Twitch. I've slowed down a little bit, but mostly because I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to go. It's a little dicey politically online. And I'm thinking about it. So,
yeah. All right, Mac, where can people find you?
Spider-Man.
We've lost David MacGyverpool. He's gone. He's gone, ladies and gentlemen. He has ascended to a higher plane. He's just fully gone.
We eventually got to do like some free episode where we just talk about that show. We're eventually, guys. If you want if you want us to like talk about Spider-Man, the Japanese version, which I would love to do. So no, I'm sorry. So let me rephrase that. If you wanted to talk about the Toho version of Spider-Man, I really want to talk about that because that's
Gotta start a new show, man. That's TV talk.
yeah, we did that. We gotta do that. So we'll talk about. If you wanted to talk about this, please don't rain the comments of, dude, Toho Spider-Man, you bastards. You know, all right. Yeah, we'll do it. But yeah, seriously, Matt. I'm Matt. Come make sure you go follow everybody here. Follow us at Game Fixers. We will be here. We're doing more content. I'm gonna release this probably in June, May. I don't know. It's gonna be June probably because I'm gonna be busy with a lot of stuff before the end. But remember, next month, July 1st to be precise, we'll be in Chicago. We'll be in Rosemont, Illinois. So if you want to come mingle with me and Zach, throw a pie in my face, you know. Or you want to throw a pumpkin bomb, pumpkin, I don't know, a pumpkin at me for some odd reason because I was talking about Spider-Man. I'll invite it. Just so you know, I just so
where
you know,
the fuck would you find a pumpkin?
Middle of July. That's not seasonal.
Yeah, not at all.
People can find I've seen weird stuff. People find pumpkins.
Pumpkins don't grow in the summer.
They'll find a way. I've seen people have pumpkins for some odd reason. Like,
bitch, you've never played Harvest Moon. Pumpkins don't grow in the summer.
I know it doesn't, but you want to know something? People find a way to do this shit, Eric. They find ways.
Those are squashes.
They are. He's right. They are squashes. You usually harvest them after the first frost. But sometimes you can pick them earlier depending on the breed. You can't do that with pumpkins.
Anyway,
if you want to throw something at me, throw tomatoes at me, whatever, you know, I'm right there. But know that I'll come back and I'll throw tomatoes back. So just letting you know that. Make sure you go watch Gamer Grudge. We got some pre-taped stuff that we're going to be working on. We'll let you know if you want to be on it. We're gonna probably be doing some Zelda fights. I'm trying to get that started. Zach, you don't got to worry about that because I'm gonna have that. Yeah. So we're gonna be doing a Pokemon fight, which Eric is probably gonna host that one. We're doing all types of stuff, and I'm doing my summer streaming. So make sure you come by, stop by, watch us.
Yes, if this has come out before the first stream, come watch me beat Mac at Super Mario Party.
How about
no, it's Mario Party Superstars, not Super Mario Party. I've already soundly trounced you at Super Mario Party.
You know Mario what? Superstars. Revenge is a dish best served cold, bitch. I'm going.
I know you still seem pretty heated.
See, that's what people say to themselves. It's better served cold, but it's really best served hot and immediately.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna serve that ham right at you, bitch. Anyway, so
Mac, like if I ran up to you and you said something stupid and I threw a cup of hot boiling water in your face, it'd be hot, immediate, and everything would be perfect for my revenge. See how this works?
Anyway, you can
at somebody.
You can find me on Twitter at BunkBunker. I will post there if I do stuff. Like I retweeted a thing that I did. It was fun. I was on the D&D Beyond Twitter, and that was fun.
Oh, cool. I was
Twitch, not Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was in a game run by Joe Star on Twitch. At this point, it would be a couple weeks ago, but it was last week to us, but a couple weeks ago by the time this comes out.
Right.
So if the VOD is ever posted on that, I'll definitely share that around.
All right, Mel. Guys, this has been a good episode. We'll see you next time on another episode of Visit Rotten, and hopefully I won't be drinking. Let's just get started. I'm probably drinking. We will. See you guys. Bye. Where the fuck's the stop button at?